Right then, my old babes in the wood. Have a look at, turn him around, let's look at me, look at the camera. We went for a walk. You got the Vistula river just through the trees there poking by. And this is Mlociny, which I don't know if you can see it. I'll focus up on a bit. It's all deep forest with lianas and that coming down. So we're having a nice walk. Sophie's looking after George. It's not really properly autumn yet, although there are leaves on the ground. It hasn't gone yellow. It doesn't get. We used to talk about Złota Polska jesień, but a lot of the time the leaves do fall off before they've had a chance to really go all sorts of colours. And the other thing is that yellow, one certain form of yellow, does seem to be the predominant colour that they go to, not like all kinds of reds and oranges as well, like you tend to get in New England places. And this is very clay down there, so if you want me to come back. It's all clay, you're going to get your shoes in a filthy mess. And the current on that river is actually quite fast, you know. I don't have to go fishing in out. This is the reason why horse riding in the forest is not always a good idea, because you've got to watch out for the low-hanging branches or the toppled trees. Otherwise you get a clonk on the head, the horse might go on for a while, leave you behind on the floor, completely concussed, like in all the good movies. So there you are, you've got a little bit of a film so that you can remember what you did. But you'll only remember what you looked like if you let me film your faces. Let's see his face as well. Jorba,
Georgie,
let's see your face.
you go forwards.
Okay, that's a record anyway. So we came out of that down here. I tried to put the GPS on the phone because we've walked for quite a while, a couple of miles, and it hasn't really shown up. I think we're already in Mlociny just about, but here's where a kind of road for cars in a sense, although it's not really well made. Here's where it gets right up to the river, and they've parked some boats down here. So in theory, and yeah, it was a very bad idea, Sophie. Especially as there's no oars, it's a good way of getting yourself into a big trouble. There's somebody there. I don't know what those folk are doing. Maybe they're having a picnic. That's what I'll say, because there are kids present. Are they? Okay then. Somebody's abandoned a kind of boat here with some strange thing in it. They're all tied. Anyway, they're all tied up with this and probably locked down or something. So which is only responsible because otherwise you'd get kids setting off in them downstream, and then in that current, which I shall zoom up on, you can see a bunch of mini tornadoes appearing in it because the current is strong. You see all the mini tornadoes in it? That's how strong it is, yeah? You can't swim against that. You're a reasonable swimmer, but you can't swim against that. You'd have to swim downstream of it, but start aiming sort of diagonally towards the shore, and that way you'd get to shore. But if you were to swim against it, you'd use up your strength on it. There's a cormorant over there flying. There's a lot of mosquitoes by the river, so let's move a little bit away from it. Happy to move away, aren't you, George? You're not a big river fan. Okay. You fell over, did you, nearly?
Yeah.
Okay. Can't just stand around here, that's for sure. I'll have to shake it out of my shoe in a minute.
Ah!
What? What have you found?
Lost my shoe.
Oh, you watch it. Look. You see in that direction? You've got the little flats and things of northern Warsaw
That's
down
not
in that direction.
Warsaw.
Yes, it is. Down there's Warsaw. I don't know what else you think there might be down there. Well, Miękki's up that way. Maybe another kilometre.
How many kilometres have we gone?
This was only about 14, 13, about 12 kilometres from the centre to where we parked. And then we've walked about another 2 or 3.
2 kilometres?
At least, maybe 2.5, maybe even more. I don't know, it's hard to say. When you're walking over that terrain, it's not easy to say. It could be less than we think. But the surefire guide is always looking at the watch. We started walking at 3 o'clock, didn't we?
No, 2:30.
That's when we left the house, 2:30. It took a half an hour to get here. And then we started walking. Yes, it did. I looked at the watch all the time, Sophie. I wish you wouldn't contradict me. It took half an hour. No, it took half an hour. No, it took half an hour to get here.
Half an hour.
And now we've been another hour walking. So in an hour of walking without stopping, then 3 kilometres is a fairly normal, even walking at a leisurely rate, that's a fairly normal amount. So I think we have covered 3 kilometres, just judging by that. So we'll try and go back along here, see where this one takes us. How about that?
We're going to go to McDonald's.
What do you want McDonald's for? That's horrible. You're out here in lovely nature, enjoying things, and you think I'm going to a McDonald's. When do I ever take you to McDonald's? When do we do McDonald's, Sophie? We don't do McDonald's. McDonald's is for Philistines.
Oh.
Yeah, don't go through there. Don't go through there. What part of don't go through there don't you understand? That's somebody else's property. Thank you. And then, if there was like a big dog in there and he bit off both your legs, you wouldn't have a leg to stand on in court. Right. Whew. These are allotments, but not as well kept as the ones inside of town. These are less prized ones, by the looks of things. Right. Okay, don't go anywhere with them. We came out of there in the end after probably, well, it was another half hour. So in total, I think we probably went about 5 kilometres on this walk. We come back to the starting point, but a little bit further to the south, and there's little campfires around. This is a place where there's specially put aside so that people can make their own campfire, have a picnic on benches that are here, and eat their own food, which they've kind of barbecued. All they have to do is clean up after themselves. But other than that, it's allowed here to have it's a place which is set aside so that people can actually do their own little campfire, by the looks of things. But only in this particular small area of it, not in the forest proper. But you know, the way that they've stopped people from having uncontrolled campfires in the forest by allowing it in a certain area, which is an interesting psychological way of doing it. Anyway, that's enough. Let's go. I can't film at it because the sun's too light. It'll ruin the camera lens. Come on, mate. Bring Georgie, and I'll take his hand because there could be cars setting off now. There's one with Chibo on. Chibo's. If you like Chibo coffee, then that's the car for you. So I can find a point where I can put the sun behind the branch so that we can see that. Yeah, that's a bit more like it. The sun was behind the branch that enabled me to look in that direction. And there is a little bit of swings and what have you, but it's not really a playground, and I don't think it's really very safe either with all these open fires around. So we won't let Georgie free. All right. There's a nice good old husky. Do you want to stay with me there, Soph? Thanks. Okay, I'll stop filming.